Hello, hello. Holy hell, guys. I have been talking for, I don't even know how long. It said I was live. Been talking into my webcam this whole time, drawing arrows. Can you see me now? Can I get confirmation that you can see me? Bueller. Fuck me. Well, it said I was live for literally 10 minutes. But sorry to keep you guys waiting. If you're here, obviously, thank you so much for joining. I'm going to repeat my spiel. Vish, TML, Luke, I2, Slightly Toasted. Whoever said LOL, I'm not even going to guess what that screen name is. Is that Ty? I don't know what that text is. What's up? Miggy, Paul, L Trades, Adam, Lou, JT, what's up, guys? Thank you so much for joining. Well, I just explained the nature of this kind of move, which is essentially both a bit of a short squeeze, as well as more of what I would consider to be a Vanna flow. The lack of volatility essentially changes the delta through the lack of IV expansion and allows you to kind of swiftly move up on some strong bidding. So as you can see over here, once we kind of crested this resistance around 75.50, which are in the Discord, you probably saw me kind of go over this at length already. But the whole problem with kind of getting this move down into this range to the biggest support on the day is essentially that the absence of kind of persistent volatility means the idea of Vanna, right? The lack of volatility means that any bidding is going to further reduce the IV on those deltas, which is going to compel more buying of futures. So any kind of relief whatsoever of volatility, which means any lack of continued selling as we are down kind of in this broadly supportive range here, even though it doesn't look like it, all this little tiny red, this big green, and then all of this green down here. When we start talking about what happens when there's not enough persistent selling, the water can only hold the balloon under the surface for so long. And then when you look over here at Bookmap, you can see big bid, big bid, big bid. You've got a lot of market orders kind of eating up all of these passive sells, all of these limit orders. And they keep bringing the floor up. Every pullback down towards 60 just got supported, right? You can see all of these passive supportive orders. So now, because we are in this kind of thin to overall negative positioning, what do we know about that, right? Market makers are going to assist this move. They are going to buy futures with the momentum. The risk, obviously, is kind of what happens if we don't cover this strike. If we don't effectively hold over here and get continued buying, any selling is going to do what through this range, right? If it's a strong market sell through all of this kind of limit orders supporting us now, is given the nature of this positioning, volatility is going to increase, right? And then if that volatility increases, you're going to kind of come back to a natural balance spot. So today has been an interesting one, right? The overall landscape of this positioning, both from the open and now, is one that says any lack of ability to hold up here, you are going to just get sold back down to a balance. So if we can't hold here and make this big push higher, we are likely to revert back down. So people who are chasing this move late could get punished very harshly, right? Back down to this balance here around 50 to 40. And you can kind of see all of these resting orders on Bookmap essentially saying, hey, I've got orders to buy here if it comes back to me. So the selling would have to kind of eat through this whole range now, right? Back down there. I think it is telling that your biggest amount of buying on the day came on the back of this kind of 75.50 area, which until a few minutes ago was a big dealer long, similar to the spot that we are currently fighting. So we got that kind of squeeze pop move higher, and now we are wrestling with this particular spot. And I think you're seeing that both in the kind of passive orders showing up there, but you can also see people are starting to speculate a lot higher. So if we get this continued squeeze move higher, it presumably should take us way the hell up the range, because there's less and less resistance to us as we move up, and market makers are going to be assisting that move. But it has to realize, right? It has to actually happen. So that is what we are watching for right now. The flush of 40 and reclaim paid out nice. Flush of 40 and reclaim. Are you saying you took the short, or you're saying you took the long over 40? Stop loss, sorry. Let's see here. What's the name of the Gamma service? Yeah, VS3D is the platform that I use, stop loss. That is where I get my dealer positioning data from. A lot of people still like to use options depth. That's kind of been one for the longest time that I was using before I made the switch to VS3D. Some people like spot gamma. They kind of do an approximation with regards to volume and flow that I don't necessarily ascribe anything to, but some people seem to like it. They're essentially making a guess based on volume and flow to try to say like where things are heading. But I don't know that you really need that. Bookmap is a new layer. I was working with a student in a one-on-one basis who had a lot of experience and exposure to it. So to kind of get my hat in the ring with all of the order flow folks, I still maintain that you don't need that at all. You can just place your bets based on just the positioning and the profile as far as your risk management tool, and essentially just accept your trade when you place it. But for those of you who kind of can take value from this, it is easy to essentially see the move that played out with regards to like who did what and when. So from an order flow perspective, there's some data to be gleaned around like, here's this buy delta is being rewarded on this big move up. Does it stall out? And then kind of like taking some information from that to see, oh, there's not enough, market bidding to take it over this little resistance here at 70, for example, 65. Where is it going to go? I don't think you need that necessarily. You kind of already know if you can't crest this 65 strike, you're not going to make the move higher. You're going to come back to balance and so on. But for some people, especially scalpers, they like to leverage it. So we'll start layering it into our analysis here. What's up, Matterman? Yeah, guys, I think this is a really interesting case study of a day overall. I think the really interesting thing coming in on the day was if you guys saw my pre-market plan, whether it was in the Discord or kind of late to Instagram and the YouTube channel, what you heard from me based on the pre-market profile, which we'll just kind of jump into really quickly here, while this continues to move, is that the positioning was thin. And it was heavy on the wings. It was heavy to the upside and heavier to the downside, but much, much heavier to the upside. All the bets were placed that we were going up. We just weren't going to go that far, right? But the test on the day was, what happens if you're not over this strike? It wants to compel you down, either towards the 7,600. But the risk on the day was, because of the thin positioning and why I took a short this morning, I only took a little one on some evals just to make sure I could get funded, right? I only needed so much to get there. And why I didn't hold was because my assumption was when everyone places their bets that we aren't going any higher than an area, we're probably going to attempt to move that direction. We're just going to stall out, kind of that up and stuck move. So I actually ended up putting on a call spread very cheaply to capture this little range right here, kind of at the top of the expected move, which is this purple bar. We've obviously traded to the bottom of the expected move from the open. I also had an overnight short, so I came in today very kind of low-key, not looking for much. But the risk on the day was kind of under this 60 to 55 spot I kept calling out. If we dump through that, then you're going to start making this move much lower. The difference is most of this down here was still broadly supportive. We were in an overall positive gamma territory. So it's no surprise to me that we kind of started hovering here where we did, because in order to get much lower, you would have had to have that, again, persistent volatility to get that grindy chop downwards. Once we looked post-London close, which was about here, coincidentally when most of the selling was over, and we look at the intraday profile, the majority of that structure was still the same, right? If you don't cover this strike, you're compelling back down to where we were, but you're also kind of broadly supported from here and then again back like this. So the odds of us continuing to go lower here would need something. It would need persistent selling and volatility. Now, any volatility that comes off the surface, you know you're already passively supported at least to here. So what is the risk? The risk is actually any relief of volatility is going to send you up. So yes, we have a little tiny balance here. Maybe this is kind of the story we tell, right? We're not able to get all the way back. So we're going to get kind of pinned right in this area where we are. And if you give anything up, you know you're likely going to come back at least to this spot, right? So what we are looking for now is, do we get the continuation to get this kind of a move? Or do we accept our fate and say, well, if you're not over this, you're under it. Where is that balance going to be? Right about here or down here? But that same kind of story was written in the pre-market, right? The positioning above is still quite heavy. Everything above you, obviously this is not even being priced in right now because the straddle isn't pricing it in, but you guys get the idea. If you're not over something, you're under it. So if we're not over this strike, it's pointing you to a spot. And if you're not over this strike, it's pointing you to a spot, right? So that is kind of like what we're looking at right now, is can we get this kind of continued move up through this thin range? Do we have enough of it? Is there enough bidding in the market to do that? Because we're already getting the help of volatility getting crushed. So volatility changes means natural lift. Any shorts start covering because they're not able to monetize down here, right? All these people that chase this kind of this put spread position, it looks like, these people aren't able to monetize. They're going to exit those. There's a natural lift. When shorts cover, you get buying. I think I even said it in the Discord. Post-London close, into the London close, any short covering, you're going to get some relief. Does it turn into something more? And that's what we're waiting to see. Do we get this continuation back up here, or do we stall out kind of right here? We've got a lot of time left in the day. And if that's the first little tranche of buying, we can clearly go much higher. And it would be one of those situations where people would say, how the hell did we just round trip that move? How did we possibly sell off and then reclaim the whole day? Well, I think we know why, right? There's volatility, there's these dynamics at play. So Jordan here said, I got cooked a bit on the move up. I had stops, but I figured my entry had a strong enough cushion that helps a lot in understanding the nature. Glad I could be of service. Leto, what's up, dog? Yeah, the sweet, sweet arrows. I've had some really funny DMs about that. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but I understand your arrows. Well, that's all it's got to make sense. If you can understand shapes, you know, some people like geometry, some people like algebra, trig, whatever floats your boat, you know, we're here for you. Thought we would see 75.10 and thought of longing from there. Vish, just because it is the strongest spot doesn't mean it's the best spot, right? You kind of have to make an educated guess in one sense to understand. It's like the idea of rarely do you finish at the absolute low of day. Rarely do you finish at the absolute high of day. So when you're looking at the expected move, and here we are, we're seeing some bids come in on Bookmap here, right? We're starting to see some continuation. If we zoom in tighter to these prices, maybe that's a little too tight, sorry. Let's just focus like 75.80 is kind of our cap, let's call it. You're seeing these big, strong bids. There's like no selling happening. No selling is being rewarded. Everything's getting absorbed. We are just continuing this move higher. There's not a lot for them to like keep eating up though either. There's not strong positions for them to snatch up whoever's passively selling and bid through them, right? So right now we're kind of in this holding pattern. But I think it's very evident that whatever passive flow we're getting from market makers is going to assist this move. The only thing that's going to cause any real selling is all of these buyers effectively get like run over by somebody who says, no, we're selling from here again. Right now, the drift certainly is speaking up, at least towards 75 here, which is where you kind of see the strongest concentration right now of kind of some passive orders. So I really think that this is where the story is being told right now. But again, we also know that any failure through this range is going to compel you back to a balance. So where our edge right now is in understanding the dynamics and what the inherent risks are. So for me personally, if I didn't catch this long from down here, and I didn't catch this kind of intermediate long from right here, about 75.50, I'm not in this move. I'm not chasing this move. I've accepted that it's gone without me. The only thing I would maybe do is put on like a really cheap put on SPX, like a 7,500 or something, and say I'm playing for a rejection into the close. But right now, you're just asking to chase and maybe get squeezed if you're short. You've got to let this kind of play out. I personally am not going to touch this. I don't think there's any benefit to trading this right now if you did not catch this move down here. Hello. Power just flickered. So not entirely sure what happened there. I'm so sorry. Hopefully you guys are good. No idea what just happened, but not everything shut off, but things definitely went down for a moment. So I'm not 100% what the hell just happened. Well, if you guys are still here, thanks for sticking around. I am so sorry about whatever the hell that was. Are we good? Are we good? Can you guys see me? Okay, well, I'm going to assume we're safe to go. I am so sorry about that. Normally I have no problem with the old fiber, but I'm wondering if there's not something else going on. My neighbor is building an addition onto their house, and there's been all sorts of stuff. So hopefully that is the last of that. I honestly don't recall where I left off or what we were talking about. I know we kind of covered the squeeze behavior, but yeah. Yeah, Christoph, I actually do have a battery backup, but when the modem goes out, I'm kind of screwed, you know what I mean? It's more about my computer. What was your question? Oh, yeah, I mean, we broke it down. Somebody actually asked about like going lower. So thank you for the question, stop loss. Somebody asked in the Discord about like, hey, am I good to target kind of down here? And my answer to that was effectively breaking down what happened. So really, if we want to talk about that quickly, what we can do is, let's see here. See if I can pull this up for you guys. Right here. So let's talk to this really quickly. I'm just going to do this. So if you guys can see that, we'll leave the chart up for now so you guys can actually read through this a little bit. This is what I'm looking for as far as the bid to volatility. So you are more likely from a charm perspective to go sideways. Hey Lou, what's up? Yeah, thank you for the question in the Discord, because this kind of dovetailed nicely. And I did say we'd cover this on stream. The idea here was that, as you guys can see, we got this initial bounce, right? Right kind of at the start of the London close is when we got a little relief. And that's kind of what I expected also in my dedicated channel in the Discord was, I think we might get a little bit of a short cover rally. If that continues, we obviously had a structure where we could easily make this kind of rip back higher, right? And what you would expect with the idea of charm is once we are down here in this very supportive area, knowing that overall it's a positive gamma regime. There wasn't actually a lot of negative gamma that we fell through, but we did fall through some negative to thin positions. So market makers weren't necessarily accelerating the move, right? That's why it was kind of like a steady down move, but not just like a huge sell-off. There weren't a lot of market makers assisting the move, selling us off aggressively. This was just kind of a steady move, very controlled. Now, the problem with that is once you're in this positive area, in order to continue selling, to offset all of the passive support, these arrows we talk about, right? All of this is pretty supportive. Absent this one position and a couple thin ones in here, you have to look at like the entirety of the structure beyond just today. It makes it really hard to keep selling unless there's enough active selling. If there's active selling, there is heightened volatility. If you don't have enough heightened volatility, these positions inherently change, right? Market makers now find it easier to buy. Any volatility comes off the surface. VIX sells. Volatility drops. Buying moves faster and further, okay? So this is what I would call a Vanna rally. If the volatility changes relative to the positions market makers hold, they have to buy. And they buy with momentum through this range because we know how they're positioned. But the risk, again, right here where we are, the big risk of this move up is giving it all back to the spot where things are balanced again, passively. Okay? So if we get some selling pressure, so on Bookmap over here, if we get selling pressure instead of this, right, then we start going down. I actually think my Bookmap window looks like it's maybe not super refreshed. That is kind of weird. I think something really happened here. There we go. Much better. So from here, what we're going to look for is this continued pressure to squeeze us up higher, right? This kind of a move through this range. If you're over it, you're going to be compelled to a balance higher, either here or through this kind of thin book to the upside. I don't know about that, Victoria. I don't know that we have enough volatility left to crush, really. If you look at where we've been kind of bottoming out on VIX, it's pretty much in this kind of 15.5 area, and we're kind of there. I actually think what's going to be funny is if we start to see some moves back towards all-time highs, you're going to actually see volatility kind of remain higher on the basis of all the speculation is going back to the upside. So it's this idea of spot up, vol up. I don't know that you're going to get very many days like today where you do get kind of that bigger sell-off unless the positioning kind of lends itself to that again. I think you're going to see a lot of this retracement. I think you're going to see just like smaller ranges. And I think even today's straddle was kind of reflective of that. We effectively traded just shy of the expected move of the day. And if it wasn't for that kind of volatility being bid a little bit into this like little extension lower, you know, I don't know that we would have even retraced as far as we have. But I think this speaks to a couple of things. But volatility is the single biggest part of this right now. The lack of it sustaining allows us to traverse this range very quickly, right? We pretty much recaptured this move in less than an hour, and the majority of the selling took place in 30 minutes or so. So I think this is a really great day to understand the dynamics in the market between what really moves it, the active versus passive flow and where those things intersect, and understanding there's a volatility angle. So everyone who poo-poos it, you pretty much have proof of like the why behind these moves. It is a combination of both the people entering these market bids and there's not really any selling, and they're moving through a range where there is not really a lot of resistance but some help. So I think understanding where those areas are gives you a leg up. Otherwise, you're using kind of price action as a guess, and then you're able to like sit there and say, oh, well, because of this, it was a failure. Well, why did it fail? Like, what can you see that told you that it was more likely to fail than succeed? Where is the risk? If I was going to enter a trade right now, I know that it is inherently risky because of how far back we are likely to go if this fails, right? So if you're using the candle as your stop, that's fine, but what is the environment? Like, are you actually thinking you're going to make this move from here? What has to happen for that to be true? Because now you don't have the benefit of... Sorry, my trading view is frozen. Oh, shit. There we go. I'm telling you guys, this power outage or power flicker kind of did a number on me. Sorry about that. But hopefully that makes sense. This idea, just the shape, is all I'm talking to here. I want to catch up on the chat. Since we broke and held below 74.90 SPX, we would see 60. Did we bounce because of the negative strike? Vish, it's less about the individual strikes. It's about the overall positioning, right? One strike does not make the market and does not make the behavior. Is the screen still frozen for everybody, or are we good? Just want to make sure I know if I'm actually showing you something or not. Okay. But that is it. Is like, what are your real expectations, right? If the straddle is going to come down because we've taken volatility off and we're looking at like a 15-point straddle, which right now is essentially 75.80, right? Versus down here, it's actually probably easier to like fade this move back lower. But the thing you have to take into account is who is actively doing what. Right now, the passive orders, the market makers are sitting there just passively doing something. We're either going to pop this number and get that extension higher, right? But are we going to get all the way up here to where there's a strong kind of long balance for market makers? Are we actually going to double the expected move right now? That is actually possible because of what we know about this range of positions. If the bidding is strong, we have assistance to get us up there. But are you confident in staying up there because of what we know about this entire range? Any rejection, any big seller that says go fuck yourself is going to point you back through this whole range potentially. And you won't be able to look at this and say, I have a strong support until here. So that is a long distance to potentially reject all the way back through. The case could be made though, is it really that fanciful to think that we get the squeeze and we stick basically where we closed yesterday? Right? I don't think that that's that far off. So yes, I think we can get this squeeze move, but somebody has to over here actively make that happen and not run into any resistance. But I do think today is an interesting day for that. Today is a day where I would be more likely to like take an SPX trade than do it with futures unless I caught an entry here or down here. I think chasing the long from here is just not for me. Just because of, again, the nature of what happens if somebody smacks it down. All right. But that is my situation. Trade your own plan, obviously. Let's see here. Best Trades, Be Creative. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining. Sorry we had a little hiccup on the stream initially. I had a really brief kind of power outage flicker thing going on. I'm not sure where that came from, but I'm going to catch up here. Rotation market normal. As a newbie, I have issues finding entries. Just wipes on my open, then straight lines up. No retracement. V-shape from nowhere. None of this is in isolation, Peter. If you've been paying attention to this at all, there's a reason behind this stuff where you can make some educated decisions on where you're going to plunk your money down. If you're getting frustrated at straight lines and V-shaped recoveries, most of the time there's a reason why and where these things happen. Doesn't mean you're going to catch every one, but you can kind of be very patient. And like I said before, it's very rare that you finish at the absolute low or high of day, right? So if I know generally we are going to start slowing down here unless something else happens, then you can make that educated bet. You could have longed from this first stab and never been in danger, right? I wasn't ready for that. I wanted to see more of this to understand, are we seeing enough volatility to keep going lower, or are we going to get some relief? I was just looking for a move back towards 75.50 and then 75.70, and what happens at 70 is going to dictate the rest of the afternoon. We either get the squeeze move and some relief higher, or we have the potential to fade all the way back down to a balance around 75.40, right? So understanding that tells me, post-London, I'm not really horny for lower the way that I am for at least a relief rally that can turn into something much bigger. If you can read the tea leaves and see the positioning and have that if-then framework, you won't get caught with your pants down or be as frustrated. You don't have to worry about rotation markets and why is NQ weaker than ES and why is ES not selling off as aggressively as NQ. None of that has to matter to you if you don't want to trade a system like that. So, that's my answer to that question, is if you're new, trade what you do know and stay away from what you don't. So find a system that allows you to either trade all markets or stick to the market that you can trade and be patient for those types of days and those types of entries. Not to be harsh, but that's my honest opinion. And again, that's largely why I trade this. I don't need anything else. JT says, following the if-then, but you get lost with volatility. I know that if vol continues to fade, it will help of moving up. But how do I track that vol to know if it's happening? I started looking into your idea. You will never have a perfect confirmation, JT. The risk is taking the trade and knowing where it's invalidated. That is 100% it. You are like I said, I don't necessarily need order flow to tell me when to get in and out of something, right? You could look at order flow here on Bookmap and say, well, there's all this buying down here and sellers that dipped below, 30 kind of got squeezed on this first move back higher, right? And then these buyers weren't rewarded and we kind of sold under this resistance back down, and then all of this got absorbed on the selling and any buying was going to squeeze us higher. That's great, but that's confirmation of what we already knew was more likely to happen based on the positioning. So I could have placed my bet without ever needing order flow confirmation at all. And I just accept my trade and say it's more likely that we go higher because any bidding is going to take us higher by virtue of volatility coming off, because less selling means less volatility down here especially, right? We are less likely to go lower unless it's just constant, persistent selling and no buyers show up. If that's your trade, it's really easily invalidated, right? If they claim 75.50, which is probably the only place you should have been short at any time as we moved lower, if you didn't catch it from way higher, your whole short thesis was essentially invalidated on the reclaim of 50. At that point, you're not looking short anymore, because now the most short we should probably expect to go is around 75.40, and we would need real strong selling and persistent selling. I would need to see VIX keep going past 16.50 to actually grind down here. And I know I'm not going to see a flush down here. I'm going to see a steady decline, a choppy, rangy drift down, because any buying from down here is supported by the passage of time. You have more working against you the lower you go and the less time there is in the day. It's actually harder to go lower in that circumstance. And again, we made the whole expected move from the straddle price and then some. The natural thing is to get some relief. And if you see any buying at a key strike like 50, volatility has already slightly come off, and any continued buying is going to take you very quickly to 70. We go back to our little image here. Read through that. That is the entire framework of my rationale about what to look for and how. So JT, I know it's frustrating because like you want the golden ticket, you want the silver bullet that says, if I just get this, it's all easy peasy, right? And I tie everything together. I've got my if then, I've got my positioning. This is it. Every trade's going to work because I have this one thing that I can look at. You're still placing a bet. You're just placing a bet with increased probabilities, right? If this behaves as I think it should because of how I know it has to, and the market also does this actively, I'm going to see this reaction, and I can catch the ride from this range to this range. And if it doesn't, and I don't see the thing I should expect to see, then it's going to likely go here, right? And I'm not saying you're frustrated, JT, so I'm not trying to like target you on this, but I'm just saying I know it's hard because you've got this framework in place. You've got the same data that I do. You're looking at the same things on the screen, right? But you're looking for that extra confirmation to say like, this is the trade. And unfortunately, there isn't just the thing. It's a confluence of things. But you're already operating with more than most, right? You have the edge of saying like the risk on the day was down. Leto, I'm guessing you got disconnected when I did. Oh, you had to pop out for work. Anyway, guys, I'm going to use this as an attempt to shout out. Leto is a former mastermind student, just like myself, who learned under Jake. And he is running something really exciting. I'm sure we'll have more on that in the future, but he is launching a prop firm called 10-4. I'm really excited to learn more about. If you guys paid attention to Alan shouted him out already on Instagram. So props to Leto for taking the leap, and excited to see where they go with 10-4 and getting on board. But yeah, to what he said, it is very much, I think to me, and to JT's question and trading with this, is it does to me explain the why behind the what more than anything else could. Like even with Christian coming up, he does ICT, and I've actually been working on something to kind of have it be less of a us versus them situation, because I've seen it on social media a lot. There's this idea of order flow traders going after ICT to like explain away their theory and their concept. And what's really interesting about it is it's pretty much true. But the confluence of those things is essentially to say, regardless of what you call it and how you draw it out, the why behind the what that you see on the screen is there. It's provable, right? So even if you're trading ICT concepts, because it resonates more with you, if you can at least understand the why behind that box and price behaving a certain way in that box, I think that's really valuable. So hopefully I can share that with you guys soon. I just want to make it easy to share so it's not just like only lives on my screen. But anyway, I think I've shared that image enough for you guys to read through to see kind of what just played out on TradingView over here versus what is on that image. So we'll get rid of that for a moment. And again, we are stalling out essentially in this kind of 75-70 area. We are not getting this extension from this arrow up. So the risk now becomes, what happens if we sell through 60? What is sitting there that we can see with a bunch of limit orders waiting to get filled down here, right? This is your strongest kind of passive support. And that is also where we kind of know the bottom of this range is likely to guide us back to. Bookmap is just confirming what we already knew was more likely to happen if we fail to hold this spot. But to the point for JT and for me for the arrows and deploying risk and leveraging this system, nothing is 100% certain. The only certainty with this system is knowing that I am more likely to trust data that shows me with no questions asked, somebody is literally mechanically going to execute trades as price moves into a place that somebody else wouldn't know is there. If I have that edge, I know what behavior to look for in price action. and what to plan for if that behavior doesn't prove out. If we don't hold this strike, I can take a short and target at least this area around 50 to 40. And that's where I would be able to say, hands off, whatever I get from here is a bonus. This is pretty much where I would expect strong support to start showing up. Right? And then to know what would I need to see if I wanted that extra bit of range. Do I really think I'm going to get from here, from low of the day, to a new low way the fuck down here? I know that there's something working against that, right? So that is kind of what I would say about this framework. Are we going to see this right here? We could. And this move, like I just said a little while ago, is more likely to me than the continued squeeze all the way up here. We tend to find a balance against where dealers are long. There isn't a strong dealer long position until way up here. And that's not even like strong. Strongest is where things are most concentrated down here. You don't have to like the system, but you can't fucking argue with it. Anyway, there you go. But again, if, then, unless is the whole framework here. Okay, let's see. Sorry, big rant there. It was like 20 minutes of panic from stream being down and having to shout at you guys. So my apologies. So did I trade the AM session? I did. I took the morning short, and I would probably have a little bit of FOMO from not catching the rest of it had I not been trading some evals. I secured trades on my fundeds. I'll just show you guys my trade from last night real quick based on the pre-market positioning. The short that I took was 65.95. See if we can even show this far back. So my short last night from the positioning, maybe we go to 5 minutes, a little cleaner. We'll remove all these drawings here. So the overnight, I looked at the range and said, this is my test. I'm going to short this. They have to prove it to me they're going higher because it's so thin below. I actually took the exit at 65, so I caught a nice 30 points last night. And those were my trades. Those were my trades on my fundeds. So this morning I took the short just on the evals that I wanted to pass to get funded. I only needed $1,500 across those 5 accounts, and I caught this morning short for 15 points on 1 mini per account. So quick $1,500, pass the account, and on we go. So that was my morning trade, and again, no FOMO because I didn't get anything from the eval. I would have screwed the consistency on that. So no point in holding beyond those 15 points. But that was my morning trade. And then I did take an SPX kind of 75.50 to 65 call spread, which would have been 7,600 to 76.15 or so on ES, just to see if we did actually end up holding and getting this kind of move early to capture this kind of a trade. I would have caught some of that upside convexity on options, and it was very cheap when I took it. So that was my AM trade. To Devin's point, the red and green bars on TradingView being smaller, does that mean the moves will be smaller and the volatility is less? So when the positions are thin and smaller, it just means there's less of a response, whether buying or selling there. So if there's a bunch of thin positions like this range right here, it's kind of like the lack of positioning in and of itself is kind of like the red bars. If there's no one there to do the opposite, whatever the price is doing, it's going to do that very quickly. So if there's no one to step in here, then there's every reason to think you fall through it quickly, but you can also get bid back up through it quickly. And that was kind of my rationale in the morning plan of saying the risk is to the downside because there is less known quantities there compared to the upside where there is a lot of strong positioning. Let's see. Oh, don't worry about cluttering the chat. Do your thing, Leto. Appreciate you being here regardless, man. But yeah, guys, hit them up. Check out 10-4. Check out all of our great partners here. Use that code RT or RAKE if you want to support the channel. I know that my time is almost up, so I do apologize that I had that little power outage moment. Got a nice big dip I can see at about 11:50. So we went from 100 something viewers to like 5. So for those of you who stuck around, thank you so much for sticking around. I know that's not fun. But I think we've covered a lot today. I think understanding kind of the nature of what may come this afternoon. There is the potential for the Ripper rally to a new high of day. I'm not discounting that from being a possibility. It is certainly possible. I think you can see there's some liquidity kind of up near 90. That kind of puts you in that area. But again, the risk is if you're not able to hold over those strikes, you generally are going to settle back down to where things are strongest. And if you use Bookmap, for example, you'll see there's a bunch of resting orders sitting in this area at the bottom of this range that we have kind of broken up from and to the top of. So if you fail to hold this, generally you will get sold back down. So yeah, chat, making some ill-advised World Cup bets out there. You guys are on the struggle bus for sure. I mean, I love the USA. Don't know why I've loved their soccer team, because they've been woefully disappointing for as long as I can remember watching. They're a team of moments and overrated players, but even I knew we weren't likely to beat Belgium. I never would have bet on the US to beat Belgium. Take the good money. Hey Mitch, I'm looking to join the Discord again to get your brand. Is there an active discount code? Yes, it's code STREAM. So there's this link I just put in the chat for you, Adam, if you do want to rejoin. And then it's code STREAM. And if you use that, I believe it's still 50% off the monthly sub. And if you want to do that, obviously, you know, you get the mastermind stuff. You get Jake's new level indicator he's got for the rake levels. But yeah, if you want to join us there, that code should get you about 50% off. And I'm going to tell you, anyone who's interested in joining, I know Jake has said it before, I'm not 100% sure how long that code is going to last, because $100 a month is pretty cheap for what that covers. I'm not saying that just because that's where I'm at, but as far as the mastermind access, that's kind of like the real value for a lot of people, is having access to that entire course and program for $100 as opposed to, you know, paying somebody else like $3,000 for a course that probably isn't very good. So that's my pitch there. Nero said, I mentioned they update every 10 minutes or so. How do you know which of those to base your trades on? So Nero, the way that I look at it is I ascribe to what the person who uses that product or founded that product does, which is the pre-market is kind of the thing that has the most strength to me, because those are the positions that anchor the market. They're held the longest, and if they're held the longest, they're hedged the most, and they're hedged all through the end of day. So if you pay attention to what was there at the start of the day and what was there intraday and how much of that changed, you get a really good picture. So if I layer the pre-market profile onto the intraday, right, the key strikes have been the key strikes essentially all day long, right? This big put spread down here came in right like in the mid-morning as we worked our way down. Somebody bet that we were probably not going to go down here. And if we did, we weren't going to go any lower than that, right? So some of those positions change how things look. But overall, because the profile was so thin today, I was looking at 75.50 as a key strike. It still is, just in a different way. Now it's a big short. This morning, it was kind of like a decent anchor position long. But the same key test strikes were there from the morning versus intraday. But the risk on the day was always thin to down here. Like, where does the positive kind of passive support start? It always started around the 75.40 area on ES. So if I know that, I can look at where these things change and say, all right, structurally speaking, from last night, beginning of the day, pre-market, to post-London, where things generally drop off from a volume perspective, right? There's just less people participating in the market. I don't want to get caught in every 10-minute update, because just like you and me, what happens if you take a trade and you buy SPY and the trade goes against you? You're closing the trade. So every 10 minutes, am I going to get lost in all the people who bought and sold and bought and sold? Or am I going to pay attention to the big money that I know is holding that position and trading against it all day long? I pay attention to the structural foundational strikes, and I don't get caught up in the nitty gritty. I'm not a scalper. I don't care about 1-minute updates. 10-minute updates are fine, but I tend to look at pre-market. What does it look like after London? And then from there, I'll monitor and see if things are wildly different into the last hour, right? But within that, I'm also looking at the straddle. Is the straddle like 10 points into the close? Why do I give a shit about a strike that's 40 points away? It's not active to me in the moment. I think, JT, what you should do in that case is literally like screenshot the pre-market, screenshot like hourly intervals, go back at the end of the day and be like, did this fundamentally change anything? If I just would have looked at this chart and these positions, would I have traded with more confidence? Or was this invalidated and this position made a difference, right? Because I could tell you right now, I know these intraday positions have changed slightly from what they were, but does it fundamentally alter things that it went from 1.5 thousand contracts to 1.2? I don't give a shit. The structure is still the same. If I'm not over 7,600 on ES, I'm under it. And where does that point me to? If I'm failing to go higher, I'm probably going to pin right under this. If I'm holding this, if I'm not holding this, I'm probably going to drift back lower, right? And I know that any little bit of selling is going to accelerate me down. So yesterday is a really great example. This kind of big harsh sell at the end with like 10 minutes to go on the day, right? This big sell, we had some short positions. Any selling pressure was going to send us down. It didn't have to send us all the way down, right? But given what the straddle was and the fact we were in those negative positions, you could have taken a really cheap put. You could have shorted the top and said, we'd rarely finish at the absolute high of day, so I'm going to take a short on tight risk, and I see we've got a bunch of negative positions underneath us. I'm going to trade that profile. You could do that. That is entirely up to you. But I would not get caught in the little 10-minute update things. The structure is the structure. It's like, does a rake level change intraday? If you guys trade the rake system and you use Jake's levels, you're not changing levels intraday. You're waiting until the end of the day to be like, okay, that's a structural level to me, right? If you're going to trade it that way, you have to be consistent with it. Anyway, yeah, guys, that's probably going to do it for me. Again, is there potential to go higher? Yes. Am I banking on a squeeze move on a 10-point straddle to send us 30 points? No. So I'm going to be cautious with it. I think there is the potential for a further relief rally. Could we get to a new high a day? Absolutely. But I think the risk is knowing that if you don't hold where we are and you get any selling at all, you're going to have some assistance back towards at least 75.50, which you can see here. There's a bunch of resting orders, 40 and 30 and lower. There are resting orders. So there are people waiting to catch that move. But I do think I would at least, if I was short, I would be thinking we come back towards 50 to 45. But I'm also not shorting it because I know the risk is kind of a squeezy move. So I personally am not advocating for any trades unless you see something in particular that you like. I think the cleanest setups for my system on the day have come and gone. So yeah, best of luck to you. If you're long, I hope you get the squeeze. If you're short, I hope you get what you need. But some really great questions in there. And again, I've got some things I'm cooking up, so I will be sharing those on future streams to hopefully quiet the discourse on who's right and who's wrong all the time between our styles and systems, and kind of draw that connecting thread where everything kind of aligns. So hopefully I can share that here in the next day or two. But Christian is coming up next, so stay tuned, and don't complain about no giveaways because you guys can't bet on soccer. So we'll see when they come back. But have a good afternoon and trade safe, whatever you do. All right, take care.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I just hear a goal on the other room. Someone just scored. Ain't no way Egypt just scored, man. You guys are the most. Yes. 3-0. What a lock, right, chat? What a lock. Oh wait, I shouldn't be showing this on stream, right? What a lock, right? Wait, who scored? Was it Egypt or Argentina? Oh, they're reviewing it. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Slightly toasted, my guy. Victoria, what's up? Fish, what's up? Slightly toasted. Egypt, man. Yeah, honestly, chat, I did a horrible job of detaching today. I'm pretty oh, they just yeah, it looks like the giveaways are cooked, chat, honestly. Let's see. Let me put this away. Yeah, did a horrible job of detaching today. Been on my desk all fucking morning. I hate it. I hate it. I should have gotten up and hit the gym, but with the game on, also waiting for a setup that essentially never came. I yeah, just been on my desk. Let me turn the light on real quick because it is a little dark. There we go. There we go, chat. Let's see. Hop on charts. Ronaldo is sad. Low. Yeah, honestly, I was sad. The fact that he didn't make it through. KNQ, what up, my guy? Robert, my guy, haven't seen you in a minute. What up, gang? How was morning session? It was good. It was long. Like I said, I was behind my desk all morning. I literally just got up to eat a quick breakfast, and I went on a little, what was it, maybe 5-minute walk at most. So yeah, I've just been here all morning, and I'm a little drained. I feel like I regret staying. Right, I should have walked away right at like past 7 once we took out the lows, prior week lows, and right around 7:30. I should have just called it, but I stayed trying to catch a potential lower high that never came, and yeah, literally just watched this whole thing move up without me, and I still leaning towards the downside, but we'll see. I'm kind of using the first couple of minutes here to like decompress and just talk to chat, and going to look to zone in here on price in the next 10 minutes or so. So whenever 11, the new 4-hour candle opens at 11, that's when I'm looking to potentially look for a short. I've been at the desk for 5 hours also, but yeah, it's I've been in the desk on the desk so long that I had to sit down. Am I blind, or was there no change of state after that crazy V shape? Yeah, that I was looking for a potential reversal here into what was it, a 15-minute fair value gap. Here specifically, it was hourly gap in premium, which was this level. Um, but that entry never really came, right? We did trade down into premium, sorry, discount of the range, which is, I had this level drawn out before it hit, right, which was this swing low, which we tapped into, and then we just completely displaced above it. But typically when playing counter trend trades, I don't really like to aim for like a big move, kind of like we had. I like to aim for the low hanging fruit, and the risk to reward really wasn't worth it after the change in state for me, which was here, and I think the target would have been like, yeah, somewhere around here. So it's not even a 1R. So skip that. Was looking for shorts. Still, I'm a get into price and kind of zoom out of it and reassess, but still leaning more towards the downside. But yeah, we'll see what market gives us. Letting people trickle in here. Oh, music is missing. Oh, well, Lomeli wearing a hoodie. I don't think he wore sleeves. Brother, it was cold this morning. It was kind of chilly, and I went for a walk. I was wearing a tank top, and kind of cold, so I put through this on. Similar story for me. Was super tired. Quit at 11:30. Just couldn't concentrate. Yeah, I feel it. Yeah, you have those days, and for me, that day was today. I think I was trying to catch a play that, like subconsciously, I knew the move was over, and I just stayed on the desk, which is okay on days where, like for example, like before, where I wasn't really streaming. I think even then, it's fine. But like now, I wouldn't say have to. I get to stream, and so now I have to sit on my desk for the next 2.5 hours, which adds to the 6 to 10, 4 hours that I've been kind of already staring at a screen, you know. So I went out and played with the dogs, took a nap, played some video games. Market isn't going anywhere. I'll be here tomorrow. That's the best thing. Being your own boss. Imagine telling your boss, I'm tired today, I'm going to play video games. Exactly. ¿Qué pasa, primo? ¿Qué pasa? What up, RJV? Cold in the bay. Yeah, it's a little chilly. Not gonna lie. A little windy. What's PDL? It's prior day low. Rod the Bear Slayer, are you feeling better now? You were sick last week, I believe. Your icon says long bias, by the way. Oh shit, you're right. Let's change that to short bias. Love this weather. Yeah, it's tough. I have a love-hate relationship with the cold. I prefer warm, humid weather, but shit, you know, what I notice is that when it's super, super hot here in Cali, I want it to be cold, and when it's super cold, I want it to be summer. So what I learned to do is just embrace the seasons. How's your day been, brother? It's been good. Just a little longer than I would have wanted it to. I regret not taking a midday break, because now I'm just mentally exhausted. So I'm using these next couple minutes to just look at chat and talk at chat, and then we're gonna get straight into it here in the next 10 or so minutes. Either way, the market's not really going anywhere right now, and I would love to see the 4-hour gap. Man, it's tough. I think the move we basically got the move that I wanted to see into external range liquidity, which is a swing low here, right? So it's tough. I still have lower targets. The lower targets on the monthly, like I mentioned yesterday. Chat, what about yesterday too? Talk about yesterday's short, right? Yesterday took a loss on stream, but where was it at? Took a loss. Where was it? It was somewhere here, I believe. And I mentioned, or I was looking at this as a potential area to look to short again, but I didn't. I called it, and that was exactly the play that I was looking for, which is a bummer. But yeah, played out through late New York, early Asia, and we displaced through Asia. And London, we kind of had more of a consolidation period. New York just completely displaced and reversed V-shaped pattern. So now, yeah, like I said, the monthly is kind of what I'm looking at for higher time frame targets, which would be the 28517, right? This swing low down here. Coming into the weekly ES took out relative equal highs up above us, and we took out prior week's bar going into today, right? Today AM session around first hour of market, we took it out, and we are now trading higher. The last weekly bar is closed at the lower fourth of the range, so that by no means is no bullish bar. So yeah, with the idea that the draw would be lower, right? Still looking for lower prices. Again, we just took out prior week lows on the weekly, of course, and I guess the daily took out external range liquidity. ES on the daily tapped into that order block. Let's see. And now we are rejecting prior week lows, external range liquidity. We took out some of these lows to the left of us, and we are retracing back into the range. So meanwhile, ES has been traded down into discount of the range, right? We filled the 4-hour gap, and we are now retracing back higher. So I have the fib drawn out, right? We are currently trading over premium of the range. So ideally, I would want to see ES reject the 4-hour invert and 4-hour bearish order block to then get an entry on the downside. Would I look to target all these levels to the downside? No, I'd be looking to target discount of this range, right? Low hanging fruit. Now, what levels do we have above us where price could serve as resistance, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking is, remove that. We have a 4-hour invert to the left of us, right? If we draw premium discount, there's, do I think price would trade up to this area up here? No, not really. So the hourly, let's see, the hourly we're trading inside a bearish gap, right? So we are inside a bearish gap. Let's remove this for now. We are inside a bearish gap. We'll see how the 4-hour invert reacts. Once the new 4-hour candle opens in the next 15 minutes, that could be a level that price can tap into to then trade us, move us lower. Let's see. So getting targets for the downside. Premium discount PD array would be the target. So we can remove this level. Let's see what else. Yeah, today again, I'm gonna be very patient with how prices or how I get my entry, just given how displaced the move was to the upside. Again, ideally, I'd want to see the 4-hour candle open and ES tap into the order block, invert fair value gap. Meanwhile, ES taps into the formed 4-hour gap that's going to form here in the next 15 minutes. 4-hour invert. We're currently in a bearish 1-hour fair value gap inside discount of the leg. So swing high to low on the daily's range, right? We are OTE of the range. What else? Yeah, it's the only thing I'm not liking, I guess, is the V-shaped recovery that we're getting, or that we currently got. So yeah, gonna be very patient here, chat. All right, you got brother, enjoy the long days while you can. Absolutely. Happy Tuesday, Adrian. What's up, Lomeli? How things? Good. Everything's good. Everything's good on this end, and yeah, no tilt trading is a good day. Do you ever full for CPI? Nah, never, ever. I really need to look into futures trading. I'm a natural night owl. I have to wake up early every morning to prep for the day's news, analyze the market. Yeah, I would argue that that's a good thing. I would say I'm a night owl as well, but I force myself to be a morning person. It's like I perform better at night, I guess, when like locked in doing work. Part of it is because I'm not distracted. And I feel like I get the same benefit like early in the morning if a big caveat, if I get good sleep. 2-1 now? Is it 2-1 now? Yeah, it's 2-1. Ain't no way. Is it 2-2? Yeah, it's 2-2, chat. Haha, fucking messy. Fucking messy, man. 2-2, chat. You guys might be saved. You guys might be saved. It's 2-2. Messi just scored again. Or not again, but Messi just scored. 84th minute. Crazy. I know. I saw that. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Hard to rely on Argentina after the Cape Verde match. Yeah. But hey, they tied it up. We'll see how they do in extra time, if they go. You know Patrick Neal? No. Point of interest? No. I don't really look at Midnight Open. That tying goal, by the way, Cape Verde, dude, was goal for me so far. Oh, right. He was on the left side of the box, right, where he cut in and bent it in. I know what you're talking about, man. Yeah, it was a good goal, for sure. Actually, now that I think about it, it was probably one of the top 3 for sure so far. Golazo. What was the bet you guys had with Jake? It was Argentina winning and then Colombia winning, right? Right, chat? Argentina and Colombia. W bet. Yeah, Messi missed a goal early in the games, which fucking sucks, but guy on Telemundo finally losing his voice after all these goals. Yo, Mitch, I saw a reel that was talking about that guy you're talking about, how he like over exaggerates everything, and it's like it's a skit, right, of some dude the team walking out the tunnel, and it's him yelling like goal. That shit had me dying. Yeah, you know, he's a good reporter for sure. My neighborhood going wild right now. Where are you from? Harry Kane interview hilarious. No, I haven't seen it. I haven't watched it. Is it short interview or is it long? Lost his voice and sounds like Sesame Street. Hey, coin losing. Harry Kane losing his voice. Oh, what the fuck? Hey.
Unbelievable support. Speechless. Yeah, Jordan, my voice is gone. We had to fight. We had to find something.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I've just been sitting there. I can't really talk.
Hey, I don't blame him though, chat. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Lomeli, you see that dude that made an indicator out of your video? I think I know what you're talking about. The Lux Algo dude. I saw that. Yeah, it's I think they already had that indicator on. Unless, no, I don't know if they did actually. I take that back. But Lux Algo is a pretty big indicator thing on TradingView. Lux Algo. Is there a way to look at the Lux Algo community? Lux Algo. Is there a way to look at? It doesn't matter. But yeah, they reacted to my video, I guess. Was dope to see you. It's Instagram channel. Yeah, someone sent it to me and I opened it. I was like, what the fuck? What page is this? And then I shortly recognized it after. So yeah, waiting for the 11 a.m. open here to see if we get some sort of continuation of the downside. Although I don't like that last 4-hour bar, but that's the draw for me still is lower. Yeah, one thing I noticed, chat, with PM session the last like 2 weeks is like New York has been getting the main move, and New York AM has been getting the main move, and then PM we've just been getting more of this action. We'll see. Let's see what we get here. 4 hour, 1 hour. Yeah, here on this side, 4 hour. We're in that bearish 1 hour fair value gap here on ES as well. There's 5 minutes left on this 4 hour candle, and every single candle except the 1 minute. 5 minute. 5 minute got to change its state already. Barcode action, man. Yeah, so we got the 4 hour invert. We got the 4 hour fair value gap that's going to be forming here. Four-hour gap entry, and then we got we're currently inside a bearish hourly gap already. 15 minute. Let's see how the 15 minute closes. Ideally, I'd want us to tap into the 4 hour gap entry. Yeah, let's see how the 4 hour opens here. Holy shit, this match? Fuck. Yeah, I'm not watching it, but I wish yeah, it's a good match for sure. Just like yesterday, who was it that played yesterday? It was this match here should be a really good one. France and Monaco, Spain and Belgium. Oh yeah, Belgium played who they play yesterday? This Spain Portugal was pretty boring though. Yeah, it was a little uneventful, I guess. The one I'm excited for is how can I pop this up? Mitch, you're giving me FOMO. Mitch, you're giving me FOMO. Fuck. Who scored? Who scored? Messi? Fuck, Argentina, chat. You guys got a lock. You guys got a fucking lock, man. Giveaways look like they might resume. I honestly had no hope in the first half, really. No, I have I have a game. I have the game here popped up, but I can't. I guess I could watch it. Well, for some reason it doesn't show on stream. I'm guessing copyright reasons, but I'm literally watching it here, but I pop it on and off. Let's go live. 3. Yeah, it's getting fun, to say the least. Sorry, this is no, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch the highlights for sure. Chat wants the giveaways? Yeah, for sure, huh? For sure. What a match, though. Yeah, honestly, the last couple of games that I've been really watching have been fucking amazing, for the most part. On when is it? On Saturday we have a. I'm literally gonna. Saturday, where is it at? Standings. Saturday the 11th, we have Norway and England, which should be a fucking amazing game. Norway and England, and then we have, I'm guessing, the winners of these. So hopefully it's Argentina. For the sake of the giveaways, hopefully it's Argentina and Colombia. I think it's going to be Argentina versus Norway on Saturday, and then we also have the McGregor fight, which should be it'd be sick. Lomeli, what's good, G? MES Polar Bear, my guy, what's up, brother? Apparently the Norwegian team has gotten the flu or something. Man, if that's true, boy, that's gotta suck, right? So I caught a 200-point move on NQ, pretty happy. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Love to see it. So the new 4-hour candle opens here in the next 10 or so seconds. Let's see what we get here. Lomeli, did you collect data on your win rate through backtesting at all? If so, how does it affect your size or approach on trades? I try to I've tried to go about differentiating size based off of the setup quality, but for me that at least for now in this point of my career, it hasn't really worked mentally. Because at the end of the day, what I come back to is like, it's a 50-50. Price is either going to go up or down, right? And sure, if you dig deep into statistics and how numbers work and how probabilities work, sure, there's a higher likelihood of a certain setup playing out more than another. I agree. But for me, like on a mental note, I feel like I was underperforming by trying to categorize each setups with different risk lots, if you want to call it, right? So I tried it. I also tried I've tried it multiple times actually, adding to winners, and it just, for me, it just didn't work. It didn't work on a I'm not saying on a technical level, but on a mental level. I'm not saying I'm not going to do it ever, but currently in the stage of my career, I haven't gotten it to work for me. And if something isn't broken, why try to fix it is kind of what I resort to. Rationale behind short bias. Sure. So, man, after that 4-hour bar, the rationale mainly is the monthly, right? The monthly, we have a fair value gap entry that I still want to see us tap into. We took out relative equal highs yesterday with on the weekly, which are these highs up above us, these two highs, which you'll see right now. Last week's bar on the weekly was not bullish whatsoever, right? We're closing on the lower fourth of the range. We have the daily, right? The daily, we inverted this bullish gap here, right? We traded back up to premium. Now we're at currently sell side of the range here on the daily. We took our relative equal highs here yesterday, right? And we traded back down into an order block here on ES. So ES currently on the daily is delivering slightly bullish. Slightly bullish. We just took out sell side here on NQ. The 4 hour respecting the bullish fair value gap here at discount of the range, right? We traded back up into premium of the range, right? So same here. We traded, we took out sell side. The main objective for me currently right now is 160. Do we get there today, tomorrow, next week? Who knows? But I do think that's a target. So for me, looking at price currently, I am seeing that we traded back up to premium here on ES. Honestly, chat, if I'm being completely honest, I don't think today is a very good probable condition. Given we already just took out a draw. We took out the main objective for this session. We're trading higher. So right now, currently, I am more leaning to the downside long term. But if I'm looking to see if we get a 4 hour tap, I guess I'm cash on the sidelines, right? Waiting for price to tap into that 4 hour gap. But I'm also open to catching some sort of potential higher low into that level, right? Which then maybe through Asia or London or New York tomorrow redistributes back lower, right? So that's kind of like the thought process behind what it is that I'm looking for. Thanks. Yeah, I was thinking more along the lines of like you have a certain win rate, so you use that info to structure how much risk or amount of trade you take before blowing an account. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. No, for me, I think the sweet spot would be anywhere from like 4 on the aggressive side, but ideally like closer to 8. I think if you structure, just stick with it. And for me, I noticed that it's for AM. I'm strictly talking about AM. For AM, it's rare for me to have more than 3 losing trades in a row. So with that in mind, I can be a little bit more aggressive, right? Maybe leaning towards like the six trade, and then you're out, right? So if you divide the 2,000 divided by 6, right? That's $333, or staying under $300 per trade, right? I would structure it similar, I guess, something similar to that. Hourly. We have an hourly fair value gap here below us. Let's title it 1 hour gap entry. We have a 15-minute order block here. I would just trade it down into. One-hour gap entry. We have a 15-minute gap entry here. $15 and 30-minute gap entry. You could call this low resistance liquidity run. 4-hour gap. So yeah, this doesn't look too bad for playing the upside here. If price comes back, takes these out, gets me an entry model back into the 4-hour gap entry. Doesn't look too bad. So I'd be open to take. But let's see. Again, that doesn't mean I'm long biased. What that means is I'm looking for a potential long into an area of interest on the downside. And I'm open to doing this. You guys know I don't really like taking counter trend trades, but in this instance where we have displacement to the upside, and I'm anticipating price to react off of a level, I'm okay with taking those, right? And this is exactly kind of like the certain criteria that I would require for me to take them, right? Which is displacedness against draw with an unfilled fair value gap or unfilled area of interest. That makes sense. Thank you. Got you, brother. Got you, my man. 1 second, chat. Let me grab a water real quick. I'm back. Bro, can you help me? I'm on my eval step two for $25K that count 3 times I came from. What do you mean? Help you with what? What about the hourly gap at 294? 294.51. Hourly gap. The 15-minute gap. Oh, the 2 hour. I don't really look at the 2 hour. Wait, 2 hour? Yeah, I don't really. You're talking about mainly this 15-minute gap here, right? Sure, it could come down there, but I would anticipate it remain untapped. Yeah, all I'm doing is waiting for the reaction off these levels and seeing how we react. That's all I'm really waiting for. If we don't and we come back to this level, then sure, yeah, that's what I would be looking for. But ideally, this level up here would be an hourly fair value gap entry. It would also be a 15-minute gap entry. And ideally, if it happens where structure, where structure on the 15-minute remains bullish, which is going to be hard, unless we just take out this 1 hour gap entry and come back up and remain over these order blocks. That would be really good in my opinion. But we do have these sort of kind of low resistance liquidity runs here to the left of us that look like price might come down, take them, come back higher. And then later in Asia, London, maybe New York, kind of do the same thing that I was anticipating back in PM yesterday, right? Which I had the right idea, just wrong timing, right? By a couple of minutes, and that's what got us to move lower. So similar thing today. Similar thing. Now, if you get the 4 hour gap entry first, I would be looking for downside, right? To then essentially take out the same low resistance liquidity run. So we'll see what happens first, I guess. What's the score, chat? Is it still 2-3, or is the game over? Final time, yeah. Okay, Argentina, you guys got a a lock here with Argentina. Now waiting on Colombia, right? Colombia. Oh, this is way off. Let me see. Standings, knockout. Yeah, so Colombia versus Switzerland. Should be I don't know about that one, man. The chat's alive. Yes, sir. Argentina won. Fuck yeah, W. Gotta bounce Lomeli. All the best if you're going to take any trade. My guy, appreciate you, Vish. You decide on premium discount zones if we have million FEGs or Fibbo. What does Fibbo mean? But no, not wait, come again, Petrilius? Let me see if I understand it correctly. Say what you just said, but like word it differently, because I think I know what you mean, but Lomeli, looks like we are in a accumulation phase. The manipulation, it's the 4-hour fair value gap and the distribution lower, maybe over the Asia session. Perhaps. I'm just here to wait for literally either of these levels to get tapped into first. Right? The 580 or the 510. Ideally, the 580 and the 486 level would be the levels that I'd want to see us tap. But we are currently in OT of the range here of the hourly leg. Swing low to high. We got divergence. You got the highs. Divergence. We have we are at OTE of the range. We have, again, this displacive leg to the upside is not really ideal for holding to the downside, right? Which is why I always aim for the low-hanging fruit. So let's see. Either I get something like this, targeting that level, or you get something like this, targeting that level. I'm kind of open to both sides. Just need to see the reaction and see what we get. I got my 8 sleep in the mail yesterday, but I only got, what kind of company does this? They shipped one part and they're saying, or the main part, right? And the actual bed sheets doesn't come here till like another week. Or actually, I'm lying, another couple days. But might as well just ship the whole thing together. Bro got a quarter of the bed. Yeah, it's weird, right? They shipped part of what I needed, and I'm all excited setting it up, and I'm like, oh shit. I open the app and it says you're missing parts. Fucking weird. Bro, all night to the sun. That's funny. Was it free shipping? I think so. No, actually, I don't know. I have no clue. I just know how much it was, and yeah, if there was shipping, it was probably like $7, maybe $10. I don't think it was much, or that I noticed at least. I think it had to have been pre-shipping. That's the bed that can massage and lift up, right? No, it's Well, yes, I guess they do sell a platform like that, but I didn't buy it. What I bought was just the which was still pricey. It's like this fuck, I don't know how to explain it. It's like this, let me see, I'll look it up. The box is literally right here. Eat sleep. Which is watch, let me show you guys. Show you guys one second searching browser. Let me look it up on Instagram. So it's I got this. Ah, shit, it doesn't even show you. Pod 5. I would imagine that they have a. Here, let's go on the website. So I got this little box, but I'm missing the actual thing to plug it into my bed. Right? So I got this, but not this. Fucking sucks. I hate when companies do that. When they send you different parts at different times, like just hold on to it and then just send it to me with the actual final thing that you have to ship. Oh, it's a cool. Yeah, it's honestly, I got recommended. I got it recommended by 3 people now, and they 2 swore by it. One was like it works, but it's worth a shot is kind of what he was saying. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, let me try it. What sucks though is I bought it and I leave home on Monday, and if anything I'll get to try it out for a couple days, maybe 2 days. If it does get here on time. And yeah, I was thinking I'm gonna get so used to if everyone swears by it, I'm gonna get used to like the fucking perfect amount of sleep. The perfect sleep, and then I'm gonna have to go and sleep in hotels. Just to come back, sleep on it for a couple nights, then back to hotels. Come back, sleep on it for a couple nights, back to Airbnbs. Which it's weird. I do sleep amazing in hotels and Airbnbs. It's fucking weird how that works. The cooling bed. Yeah, it's somewhat of a cooling. I think it regulates your body temperature as you sleep, and it makes it. It's like think of an Oura ring, but for sleep, strictly for sleep. It tracks everything. It tries to work for you as far as just aiding you to get the best sleep. Are you a hot sleeper too? Yeah, bro. I have to sneak in and turn the AC all the way down, or turn it as low as possible, literally probably 65, 66. And my girlfriend hates it. So we found a happy medium, like around 69. And she puts on a hoodie. I sleep basically naked in underwear. But yeah, I'm for sure a hot sleeper. So I'm excited. That's why I'm mainly excited for that, to see if it actually works. Let us know. Yeah, I got you guys. As soon as it gets here, I'm gonna do a full-on review on stream, maybe. So it's a machine and cover that goes on the bed for cooling. Yeah, honestly, yes, I have no clue what it is. I just ordered it. From what I see and from what people explain, yeah, it's like you put water on the thing and it cools it, or so it has a divider in the middle to where her side of the bed is her temperature, my side of the bed is my temperature, and yeah, it regulates as you sleep. So if your body temperature goes up at night, it would cool it up even more. And to kind of, I don't know, I have no idea other than people preach by it, and I was willing to give it a shot. Dougie, my guy, what's up, brother? Possible. Yeah, it's pricey. It's definitely not cheap. Yeah, so I'm gonna give this a shot, and then perhaps I was looking at Tempur-Pedic mattresses, but I've been looking at moving and don't know exactly where yet. So I kind of wanted to put that on hold, and this is pretty, portable. Happy medium number is wild. Yeah, over 70 I can't do, and then under 67, 66 you can do. So yeah. You and me both, brother. My girl gets too cold, so I give her more blankets while I sleep with my bro, I think it must be a dude thing, right? 69 being the compromise number. You have to allow us to sleep in it? Hell nah. Is it loud? I have no clue. I haven't set it up. Cold showers at night knock me the fuck out, even with an ADHD brain. Yeah, for me, I noticed that taking warm, hot ass showers before bed into like a cold AC at 69 degrees room is my melatonin. I haven't slept since with a blanket since Afghanistan. Chat, what can we do? I mean, I keep yapping, but look at this. Right? It's ugly, rangy, so enjoy the yap. Dude, definitely a dude thing. I sleep with half my body out the sheets. Bro, honestly, sometimes I even go to bed without any sheets in a pretty cold room. And yeah, for me, no better feeling than waking up early in the morning after a good night rest, and you're cold and you're like snuggling in the blanket. I really said snuggling. Oh shit. I'm a one or no pillow guy. It's funny, yeah. I've experimented with like different sleep things. Like I bought different pillows, and I went from like firm pillows to very soft pillows, and I think I found my. Man, it sounds hello. Yeah, that's how you know you're getting old. You experimented with different sleep stuff. Fucking pillows, huh? No, but all that is to try it in my head. If I can increase it sounds crazy, right? But if I can get my sleep to be 20-30% better over time, in theory, if sleep is the number one thing, right, that heals your body, right, that extend your lifespan, why wouldn't I try to look into things that potentially can aid? Floor sleep, bro. It's funny, I even tried floor sleeping. Fuck that. I lasted 3 hours. I took my ass straight to bed. I was like, fuck do I look like? I have a big, what is it, king size or whatever fucking bed. Fuck am I doing on this floor? I tried that after I came back from Japan, because I stayed like at this retreat sort of thing in Kyoto, and they had similar beds, right, where it was basically a small little thin layer of mattress, and the overall thing is to sleep on your back and let your body decompress as you sleep, where you spend majority of your day sleeping, right? So that was the overall theory, but fuck that. You take magnesium glycinate before bed? I've tried it, but I don't really like it. And I've tried it for a while too. I've tried it for like 4 or 5 months. I stopped taking it, and I didn't really feel anything. Guys, getting old. My neck, my back starts taking on me. I'm already. I'm about ready to get one of those Japanese futon things on the floor and get some zen in my life. Literally, bro, me and you both. You can't sleep unless you get the pillow flipped 50 times to find the perfect cooling side, AC blasting and sounds. Yeah, this company, Aeron, they have a cooling pillow as well, which I didn't buy. I want to try the meat of their bone, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. I want to try the actual product before I start going into little man, Chad, that's what you get for fucking... Yeah, I've been staring at this fucking price since 6 a.m. So bear with me. Shit. Sleep on the carpet feels nice sometimes. Magnesium glycinate has worked wonders for my sleep. So good. Yeah, I've tried magnesium glycinate, but for me, it was very placebo based. I think that it didn't really help me much. Although I swore by it. So I've been trying to take a more unbiased approach to everything I do now. But for me, it and I know a handful of people that swear by it, but for me, I think partially, like, not to toot my own horn, but I have a very healthy lifestyle. I eat very clean. I try to sleep very well. I hydrate properly. I exercise. I make sure I meditate. So I think that maybe perhaps that didn't really have much of an effect here for me. Price is pulling back into that hourly fair value gap. Hourly fair value gap. There's a minute left on that 15-minute bar. So we just traded it down into it. Let's see if I get an entry here. Ideally, if the 15-minute bar closed above this purple box, the order block, it'd be nice. But there's 20 seconds left. I don't think there. Hourly gap. At this point, I'd want us to tap into the 15-minute gap, but do we? Man, this is horrendous action. Yeah, if you're taking trades from when stream started up until now, you deserve to lose. Honestly. At least now we're in an hourly fair value gap. We are there's a BPR here. Hourly BPR. Do you sleep on your back? No, honestly. I grab a pillow. I have a body pillow. And I sleep literally one leg up on my stomach. Hey, yo. Let me ask my wife about trying the meat on the bone. Bread and butter, bro. Oh, shit, man. What company again? It's 8 Sleep. Hi, Lomeli. Giveaways today? No, given that USA lost yesterday, so no giveaways today. Man, blame chat for AM. Those are some degenerates. Yeah, I've been going through a coffee detox, I guess. haven't drank coffee in the last like 5 days or so. Which first couple of days I had fucking crazy headaches. But feeling good now. Hour, 1 hour. It's 11:30. We still have some time. Yeah, ideally, I'd wanted us to tap into that 15-minute gap entry and 30-minute gap entry down below us. Which I think, yeah, I'm gonna wait for. Gonna wait for this. G said coffee detox. Fuck. That's the gay shit. Fuck, never mind. Bro said coffee. Yeah, lasting a fucking week. I'm on day 6. Gonna last another day, and I'll get back to it, chat. No, I genuinely, I'm trying to. It sounds very I guess nerdy, but regulate my nervous system and spend more time, which today was not a good example of, but spend more time off screens and just in general, literally touching grass. So I was a very avid coffee drinker and drinking 3-4 cups a day, espressos, right? Triple shots each coffee. We're talking about what, 500 maybe milligrams of caffeine daily max. I mean, not max, minimum. And so yeah, I think that taking a pause on that, definitely I felt it. But I feel like I felt like I needed coffee daily, which was kind of annoying. And honestly, chat made me realize that someone mentioned I don't know, someone said something subtle, which was you don't need basically it's all in the mind. And I hopped off, I turned stream off. I'm like, you know what, it is in the mind. Chop City, man. Absolutely right, guy. There's nothing here currently. The good thing, chat, that I'll tell you guys is whenever we are ranging and you have a directional bias, you want to trade the lower end of the range, right? So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. Or shy of it here. Let's see how we react off of this 15-minute gap entry. That would be an entry for me. Ideally, I'd love to see ES tap down into the 559, basically 560 level, as we have a hourly invert, hourly fair value gap, right? Hourly BPR essentially. We have a 30-minute gap entry, or a 30-minute BPR, 15-minute BPR, which is essentially the same thing here on NQ. So if we take out the low, that's kind of what I'm looking for here. Something like that. Mitch missed with these large gamma levels right above the lowest. Do you see any move much at all? You and Mitch both thought it would return down. You got a fat ass vanilla latte with you? Phone and computer, it's Alex. Yeah. No, I know who you are, brother. Big Primo. NQ seems to be a largest hourly range for the next week between. Oh, sorry. Interact. Bias, interact. What's going on, chat? How we doing, brother? Doing good, brother. How you doing, brother? Love vibing on stream with you, man. Man, appreciate it. Appreciate you, man. And simply kind of what we're doing now. Waiting for price to give me an entry to then see if we catch some bangers today. See if we catch some bangers. Try green tea, bro. I've tried it, but what I've been drinking this during the mornings now is warm water. So I use my espresso machine just to pour me some warm cup of water, and I'll sprinkle, squeeze half a lemon in there, and literally just to drink something warm in the morning. But yeah, we'll see how long this shit lasts. Let's see. Did we take that out or no? Looks like we did barely. Okay, so looking for some sort of change in state here to get an entry now. Basically a 1 minute close over that 511 level is what I'd be looking to. And especially if it happens within the next couple minutes, the 5 minute bar will have essentially 2 minutes or 2 5-minute candles of indecision, which would be good for the upside. And if this is correct, if my read is correct, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, 4-hour bar, we're trading the lower wick of it. Let's see. Do we hold that level or do we continue lower to the downside and reach my overall higher term objective, right? That's kind of what I'm looking for here. Let's see what we do. Meanwhile, ES is looking, ideally, I'd want it to tap 560. If it does, it would look very good for the upside. So let's see. Creatine is so useless for me. Lift the same with or without it. Yeah, it's one of those things too. Like, I used to be, the only supplements I would really take would be magnesium glycinate, electrolytes, and creatine, right? I stopped everything, and I don't know. I started focusing more on just the controllables, which is my sleep, my nutrition, my exercise, my mindfulness, just being more in tune with everything that it is that I'm doing. And somehow, some way, I just started getting more momentum and feeling better. So it's not that I'm anti-supplements and anti all this shit, but I do think that the laying down the foundation and having that be the focus, right? Like good sleep, good nutrition, good movement, focus on mobility, how are your relationships? If those are all in check, and you're genuinely, you don't have to be happy, but genuinely fulfilled and happy with where you're working towards, I think that leads to a nice and healthy spirit. You enjoy the warm lemon juice? What are the benefits of it? I honestly, I go on ChatGPT. Honestly, ChatGPT, and I'm like, what else can I drink other than coffee? And so I try to eliminate coffee. So right now, currently eating generally a whole food diet. I eliminated dairy, so drinking literally water with lemon. That's literally all I guess I could do with tea, but I'm not really a big tea fan. Not gonna lie, bro. Warm lemon water in the morning sounds like I'd start my mornings off depressed. Brother, I'm honestly depressed drinking that shit, but I'm trying to be healthier, I guess. It's not going to be a forever thing. It's just for now, as I'm kind of experimenting with what it is that I'm doing. That shit, I'd be it's funny to me because I'm actually in the morning like, fuck am I drinking? But it's good enough to where it kind of removes the urge to like hold it. I'm kind of going based off of like that one book, which is, what was it? Fuck, I forgot. It was The Habit, I think. It was a yellow book with a circle, which means that if you want to remove a habit, try to emulate the behavior of that habit, right? So for me, if I'm trying to get rid of not get rid of, but eliminate drinking coffee, go through the same motion and rhythms, but just don't drink coffee. Drink something else. I still go to my coffee machine. I still pour warm water in it. I squeeze half a lemon, and I still go outside. I drink it. I do the same behavior I would do with the coffee, but with that. And it's a way to kind of psych yourself into actually drinking that shit. Power of yeah, there you go. There you go. Do you ever scalp, or are you only a 2R trader? I would say my trades are scalps, honestly. I typically hold for my AM session trades. I'll typically hold them for 5 minutes to 15 minutes max. You have your outliers, right? Which sometimes I do hold for, say, an hour, but that's because price isn't doing shit and I'm not really wrong technically. So I am forced to hold, and sometimes even I just close them just because I don't want to look at them. But for the most part, 99% of the time, it's 5 to 15 minutes. How do you even scalp this? Yeah, it's tricky here. We are in an hourly fair value gap here on ES and NQ now. 15-minute. 5-minute. Respecting this little order block here to the left of us. We'll see if that is what drives us higher. Given that ES already tapped into that hourly fair value gap. Hourly fair value gap. So the 5-minute closes here in the next 2 minutes. We have a 5-minute invert here. If it remains open, which could be an area where I take a trade off of to the upside. We'll see. For me, the line in the sand would be that purple box here. If we don't hold that, I'm not really interested in longs and would just get out the way. At that level, we have the hourly, basically BPR, 15-minute BPR, 30-minute BPR here on ES. We have, where's CE of that wick? We have CE of this wick. EQ. Oh, it's way below us. Never mind. Premium discount. Still in premium of the range. We tapped into the 15-minute BPR here. 30-minute BPR as well. Hourly BPR here as well. We're trading back up into, let's see. Let's see if price wants to keep lower or turn around from here. If price wants to turn around, it should do so from this general area. Let's remove that. Clean up the charts here. Minute. Yeah, price is dumping. You take anything PM? Not yet. Not yet, brother. Not yet. Still waiting, but nothing has presented itself. Are you? No, I'm not in a trade. If I am in a trade, it would say on the bottom right-hand corner of the P&L. So I have nothing open and nothing running. Are we looking for longs here? Because I'm currently trading in 1 minute. No, I'm not in anything. News came in, around news. News came in, chat, or what? We don't respect that. Yeah, literally sidelines waiting now. I'm still, so long we hold this general area, I'm still leaning towards some sort of bounce. But to the upside, or sorry, to the downside, not really convinced just yet. Although my draw is lower, technically on the higher time frame. We'll see how this hourly candle closes here. If the hourly candle closes below the hourly fair value gap here, that would be telling for draw. So literally hands off for now. Oil related with Iran, but that was at 1140. Huh. U.S. officials ran action in the Strait of Hormuz were wholly acceptable to the U.S. Lomeli. Like the video, people. Like it up, chat. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe, man. Just passed my first 25K and I only have 328 of room. I hope you can help me out here. Help you out with what? With the trade? He needs you to hit a banger. Fuck. 30R? Brother wants a 30R trade? I got you. Looking for this, huh? Let's get it. Let's see, man. Let's see. Ideally, if the hourly closes underneath the bullish gap, I would look for something like this after the closure. Let's see. Very patient for now. Still in this weird territory because I'm looking for higher before we go lower. But if price wants to go lower before, doesn't matter what I think or what I want, right? If price wants to go lower, I'll make sure to adjust and yeah, go from there. Bro said Lomeli resurrect Mike. Yeah, honestly, Noah's Ark. Yeah, like you could take a trade, Noah. You could take it, and you could take one today. And the fact that you're asking shows some sort of like self-control. The fact that you're not getting into anything randomly. But yeah, like Miggy said, if you yeah, I don't know. I would just wait for tomorrow. Wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day, and then go from there. Give that man some warm lemon water sauce instead. Yeah, no need to force it, Noah, honestly. No need to. For what? Markets aren't going anywhere. We still have a whole half of the year. Like, zoom out. Zoom out, man. Well, I've been letting it sit and backtesting for the last 5 days. Ah, I see. Start another account and leave it to the side until you got it. I mean, do you have a 50% coupon? Should I use it on a 50K? I think Lucid are running a deal right now. Code RAKE gets you a pretty good discount. That's about all. The Alpha Future ones just ended last week. I think right now, currently, the better deals are Lucid. Yeah, Lucid Flex. How do you manage trailing drawdown? I don't use firms with trailing drawdown. Man, this price just... Okay, the hourly candle just closed. We essentially... Let me remove all this. Remove drawings. Would you consider that a closure? Not necessarily, but technically we filled the gap. Trading at discount of the range. If price pulls back here. 5-minute gap there, 15-minute gap. So we have a 5-minute / 15-minute gap here up in premium of the range. Man, this price is premium. We are very deep in discount. Part of me wants to long in this range into premium, but that was a pretty hefty sell-off there we got. Reason being, the 4-hour candle, right? I would still want price. The draw is still lower, right? For me, still bearish buys coming into the week. But the 4-hour candle, right? I anticipate price testing 580. And before we trade lower, we displace lower into discount of this leg. Premium discount, right? Not only discount, do we trade into OTE? Quite almost there, traded into OTE. 30-minute. We are in a 30-minute fair value gap, 15-minute fair value gap in discount. Premium of the range would be this leg. We'll see. Let's see. Just waiting patiently here. Almost, yeah, that's what I'm paying attention to. The 4-hour CE would also be right around that range. Right? And I think we already got it here on ES. So I think if price wants to reverse from here, not reverse, but pull back into premium, it should do so. Let me see. Be willing to take a stab here if price gives me some sort of entry. One-minute invert. Be willing to take a stab here for degen hours. 1 hour, 30-minute. Something like this. $2.55. Be willing to try a stab here long for degen hours, chat. Let me see. Well, fuck. It's feeling me. I am not filled yet, but I'm trying to fucking trader vape copy. I guess that was a good thing I didn't get filled. One second, chat. This shit is... Huh. The trade copier on TraderVate is not letting me select an account to trade on. The fuck? A second, let me turn this off real quick. Yeah, for some reason, it's not letting me copy trade on TraderVate. Stupid. Which I guess was a good thing, but... Oops. Save. Yeah, well, that's fucking frustrating. I guess good thing I didn't get filled, right? But fuck. Come on, I guess so, but still it's frustrating. Yeah, well, that's stupid. All right, chat, give me a second. I'm trying to get this figured out. Yeah, I'm doing everything right. I guess I'll enter them. If I do enter, I'll do one by one. Whatever. All right, chat. Hold on. Whatever. I don't know why it doesn't, unless I'm doing something wrong. I just removed it and then relinked them, but manage groups. Whatever, go against narrative, long bias is dead. Might have saved you money. Yeah, perhaps, maybe. Is anyone else having issues with TraderBait, or is it just me? Is anyone having issues with TraderBait, or just me? Just you, bro. Mine's fine. My trader seems okay. Okay, never mind. Got it. Got it. Got it. It's working now. Browser. Okay. I entered a quick trade here just to try it out. Back in business. All right. Okay, 12.16. It's looking like the draw is 160. That's what it's looking like. Price wants to go down and target now for PM session. Yeah, for now, literally just gonna stay cash. Probably not gonna take anything for PM. Yeah, I guess I got saved here trying to long, but shorts do look aggressive here coming into the later end of PM. The 160 level, let's see. Did you guys catch those shorts or no? Who caught shorts? Yeah, it seems to be working fine now, but it was giving me issues with the trade copier for a minute. And even from like executing, I tried to execute one by one. It was still giving me issues, but it seems to be working fine now. Short ES. Fuck yeah. Where's your target? I wouldn't be surprised if ES takes out the 160 today. Or sorry, NQ takes out the 160. It does look like it's due for a pullback, but this session. Just holding it to close 57570. Wait. 7570? So you're long bias, Mitch. $7,530. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah, let's see. I think that's pretty much it for me as far as trading goes. I'm not going to look to chase this. And I think for a pullback to happen, I think market would close by then. I think if you did catch it, you know, the top was it. But basically it for me. Prior week low. Let's see if we get a test here. Let's see if we get the 160 level tap on NQ today, or we hold that for later in the week. Yeah, that's it for me, chat. I'm gonna call it here. I'm not really interested, but I do think that if we continue this downward momentum here, I think the 160 is feasible. All depends on how we react here at prior week lows. But that's it for me, chat. Not gonna try to push anything. Yeah. See you guys tomorrow. Deuces.